What's up, everybody? I'm Vortak, and welcome back to Rising World. It has been a long time since I've recorded a Rising World video, and a lot has been added to the game since we last checked it out. Well, we first checked it out in December of 2014, and a little bit was added, but since ending our series, a lot's been added. So if you're new to Rising World, if you're thinking maybe this is a game I'm going to purchase, I don't know yet, hopefully this more current video will help you make your decision. I love this game, but as always, I don't like to tell people how to spend their money, so let's hope this helps. I was testing out in a new world. These are our old worlds that should probably no longer work, considering so many updates have been added. So let's make a new world. Let's start off right. Here's the seed if you want to pause the video and follow along. Maybe you can help me find ores and such, because there are ores in the game now, which there were not before. We're going to call this one Rising World Season 2, unofficially. We are going to do game mode survival. There's creative. These two modes have not been added. And I'm not even going to attempt to read this one, because last time that happened, it was a whole mess. I'm going to keep the world type normal. However, there is super flat and surreal, which, I don't know, I may check that out in a separate video. We have ores. We have it on high right now, but we can actually set how much, like the frequency of ores. We can turn caves on and off, vegetation on and off, and animals. We can decide, I don't want to see any rhinos because I don't want to get killed by a rhino or a jaguar. I kind of look at this as the difficulty in a way. So that's pretty cool too. Let's create the world. And it seems we've landed next to a snow biome. Now, when I first played, there were no biomes back in my day, and now there are. So we're going to be gathering some wood. I'm going to be talking about what we're doing here back in Rising World, the state of the game, the series, so on and so forth. But I'll try not to bombard you with too much boring channel news info. I only got like one log out of that. And there was an apple on it I should have grabbed. We have a moose. The goal of this series, though, I don't know how long it's going to be or anything, but the goal of the series is to find a lake. We're going to settle down. We're going to build a whole bunch of stuff around that lake. But yeah, this looks more like an oasis. I'm guessing it's a desert biome. It looks more like an oasis than anything else. But for time's sake, I'm going to be cutting in and out until we find our lake here. Oh, wait. Did we just find it? Maybe this is more of an ocean than a lake. Well, how am I supposed to call this series the lake if we're next to an ocean? This is huge. This looks awesome. I don't know. I might have to make a beach, actually. Now that I think about it. What do you say? How about beachfront property? That's cool. I've built in other building games, which I don't want to mention due to previous criticisms. I've built on lakes. I rarely build in desert settings or beach settings. So, yeah, this would be kind of cool. And are we gathering a different type of wood? It looks as though we are. We have a piece of palm log here. This is birch. That's apple. Okay. And we have some tomatoes on us. Nice. So, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when you chop down different types of trees before, you didn't get all this different wood, and now you do. But this is less of a, oh, check out what's new in Rising World video, more of a, holy crap, look at all the new stuff that I didn't research kind of video. So we're learning together. Coming down the beach here, there's a whole bunch of rock that's just kind of exposed. I'd like to find some ore in this. That would be nice. What's that? What's that? Is that... this has to be some ore. So yes, now you need ores in Rising World, and before you could, if you wanted a pickaxe, you could just click the pickaxe in your crafting bench and you'd get it free of charge. Now there's going to be ore, we're going to have to do some smelting, and it's going to start feeling a lot more like a real survival game. So, I'm pretty excited. I'm excited. I've been waiting a long time to get back into Rising World. I've been waiting for some of these features to get fleshed out. But make no mistake, this is still an early access game. It's going to be a while before we see it developed to perhaps certain people's standards. For me, I can play games like this. This game is very playable. It's very impressive for the state it's in right now, or for the level of development it's at right now. And I find it very easy to sit here and be able to play it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Now, what I want to do is kind of level some terrain and start building a house. I'm assuming one day we may see boats in Rising World. It looks like the sand is made out of rock. That's interesting. we'll have to get some terraforming done. I may need to come back to this area and build. I think what we need first is a starting area with just a little chest to store our stuff, a crafting bench, and we'll move... Once we have enough to level some terrain and make it nice and even for us, then I think we'll start building on the beachfront there. But for now, let's just get the basics down. So let's check out our crafting menu here. We can still build our small shelter and a fireplace, general. All right, we have our resources. We can make some lumber and some sticks. I'm going to make a whole bunch of lumber because that's generally required for crafting recipes. And let's make a whole bunch of sticks too, I guess. I don't know. There we go. And what do we got? I can make a torch, which just requires sticks. I can make a wooden torch mount. Ah, look at that. Okay, so we can craft us a couple torches, and I can craft a couple torch mounts. We get 2 of each. Looks like the cost is basically the same. Yeah, 1 stick each. And now we have some torches to put around our crafting station, which we're going to make. And we need more lumber. All right, fair enough. Let's get this crafting bench built. All right, jumping into here again, got some more lumber, and we made a crafting bench. Cool. So this is going to open up the world to us. Now, something that people have been talking about on the forums lately, I've been checking into those again, and something people have been very interested in is the possibility of... What the heck? I hit Q and I just dropped this. All right. I forgot how to rotate things. Arrow keys. People have been talking a lot about the possibility of adding some levels of development. I don't know the exact name of it, but right now we have a metal pick and a metal axe. People are talking about adding more primitive materials, primitive weapons, and tools, and then building our way up to the more advanced modern technology. For example, you'll notice we can make a grill and a trash can and things that people have in modern society, but then we can also make... what's a good example? Torches instead of lights, but we can eventually move up to lanterns, and I know there's also more advanced lights, and it looks like... Let me see something here. Ah, a Tier 2 workbench. This is what I'm talking about. So things in Tier 2 are going to look a lot more modern. For this, we're going to need iron rods and plates and aluminum. So it's going to be a while before we see this guy. So just finishing up chopping up some more trees. I need to see exactly what is required of me in terms of resources to build a new house and get all that underway. Now, when I was looking through that crafting menu earlier, I didn't notice any walls or anything like that, which means we probably need a different crafting station. And if I remember rightly, it's probably the sawmill. That makes sense, cutting up wood into different shapes and sizes. So going into crafting stations, let's see what it requires. A sawmill. We need 32 lumber, and we have 22 right now. That's not a problem. We have a whole bunch here. I can just craft 32 right there. And, of course, saw bench. Done. It is getting dark already. That was fast. Let's put this down. Now, when it gets dark in this game, it gets dark in this game. You guys aren't going to be able to see anything. So I'm hoping I can get this set up quick enough to where I can at least get some lights down so we can see what the hell we're doing. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting here all night waiting to hit record again. And, of course, there we go. Wooden planks, wooden beams. We got glass. We got window frames. This looks familiar. They've probably added a bunch of furniture, I would imagine. Definitely looks like the... let's see, we got some wicker now. Yeah, it definitely looks like the list is longer. Tables. All right, cool. We don't really need furniture. We just need just walls and crap like that. So we got doors, beds. That might help. Wool. Ooh, we need 32 wool. I'm thinking that's going to require some kind of tool for shearing some sheep. I did see sheep running around, so that would probably indicate I need shears of some kind. Grates, chests. Awesome. Doesn't look like I'm skipping nighttime anytime soon, because I don't know how to make shears. We're going to have to keep working towards that furnace, I guess. So what can we do? Well, under construction, we can definitely make some beams and some planks. Let's start with beams. Let's try to make these some kind of cool-looking beachy color, I guess. So since we're chopping up different types of wood, that doesn't seem to matter. We just need lumber, and we can make beams. This one looks nice. I'm going to... Oh, I can't hit favorite on it. Oh, that's a shame. Did they take away the favorites list? I don't know. I want to remember which one we have, and some of these look kind of similar, so it's very easy to accidentally select the wrong one. But let's just make a bunch so we don't have to come back to this menu. I'll make them... That looks okay. Let's craft as many as we can with the resources we have right now. There we go. So we have some beams. I'm going to try building a little bit differently than I used to back in the day. Now, a beam is rather tall, and we can use these to kind of map out the layout of our house. If we weren't using blocks, how would it look? And honestly, I don't know if we're building a house. Just because there's not a whole lot of flat land, it's going to look like crap. So let's just put some beams down, like this. And I think there's a way to get a grid going so we can actually put these down evenly. But let's just try to keep it even for now. I'll have to look at the controls again and see. So I could put walls between these beams. And that might look kind of nice. Give it some texture instead of just laying down walls for no rhyme or reason. Let's go into here and look at wooden planks. Oh, we're probably going to need some... probably help if I had some more lumber. And see, it's getting dark. Lumber. Crafting. Whoops-a-daisy. Let's make a whole ton of lumber with the wood we have. And go back into the sawmill and just make... I don't know. Let's try 8 wooden planks and see what this gets us. So now if I go back into here, we have our wooden planks. I didn't make them out of anything special. I'm really just trying to get the hang of building again, to be perfectly honest. Now I know there's a way, using like control, there's a way to make these bigger. I can definitely tilt them. But what I'm thinking is kind of like placing them between these beams here. Maybe I'll have to take a break real quick and figure out how to, like, can I just drag this out? Oh, okay. All right, the problem is it's not exactly lining up the right way. Oh, okay, let's see. Place that down. And there we go. We have a wall between some beams. That might be good enough, though. Let's see if we can hit some torches on this thing. Let me grab my torch. Ah, that's better. And my torch mount. And can I mount the torch mount to the wall? I can. And it already orientates itself. Is that a word? And it puts itself at an angle. And I can probably just like slap some torches. There it is. Nice. So, makeshift crafting area. Don't need to sleep in a bed to skip night. I will probably have to gather some more materials in the dark. But at least now we can sit here and kind of figure out what our buildings are going to look like. Now, if I had even terrain, I wouldn't have this janky-looking wall that's kind of going down at the slope with the beach here. I could level out the beach. So, the furnace. The furnace is my next goal. I need iron. I need more tools. I have to level land. I've gathered a whole bunch of stone, and I'm hoping this gets us to where we need to be. Oh, that's weird. The light isn't hitting this anymore. Glitches. Let's see. Crafting stations. Let's see if we can get ourselves... Aha. A furnace. Now, I don't think, and you'll probably correct me if I'm wrong, you may have watched my older videos more recently than I have, but I don't think I ever got to use the furnace last time I was recording Rising World, because there was just no ore to put in it. So now we have the furnace here, and I'm going to just kind of turn that into our crafting area we got going on, and let's place this bad boy down. I'm pretty excited, actually, because I haven't... Well, no, I think I recall... Maybe I watched a video of someone smelting iron. I feel like I've seen this before. Okay, let's go into here, turn on. Ah! Is that a rooster? Okay, anyway. Let's turn this back off. Now, how do I... It doesn't seem to require fuel. What's this? Sand? Okay, and this is iron ore. All right, cool. Let's just... Oh, that's cool. I actually have to select the tray, the part of the tray to put the ore in. That is so cool. Okay, let's put it right there. It's kind of hard to reach. I feel like I'm reaching my hand in there. I just have to get it in the perfect spot. All right, that should be everything. Let's turn it on. Something I just noticed wandering around waiting for my iron to cook is my water, bottom right, you can barely see it. Now you can probably see it better, is red. I think that's water, because the fork and knife would indicate food. How do I drink this? You cannot drink salt water. Oh my god. So this is the ocean. This is not a lake. This is the ocean. I was right. It is salt water, and I can't drink it. That is crazy. I have played a lot of these survival games, and never have I seen something that said, you can't drink salt water, you idiot. Which I always thought was a little bit silly. Like, that's an ocean. How am I able to drink this? Well, you can't. So now I'm stuck trying to find some fresh water and going inland, and I have no idea. I'm just like in a plains biome. I'm kind of screwed. I think I might start dying of thirst. I might actually die in Rising World, which is kind of embarrassing. Ah, what is this? I thought this might be a cave, but actually, in fact, it is some water. Now, is this salt water? Can I drink it? Aha, you drank some water. Cool, so we are next to a freshwater area. It looks like the water's kind of glitchy here, like it leads into a cave. Looks like there's a lot of little terrain glitches going on right now, but they did just add water. I can forgive that. That's okay. What's this? Some more tomato? We will be farming at some point, and it looks like food is slowly turning less green as the night goes on. So that will be a problem soon. I may have to kill some animals. Hopefully they drop some meat and we can cook that up. Iron still not looking like ingots. I'm kind of... I don't want to take one and interrupt the cooking process, but I don't know. We'll give it a little more time. So cool. I've drank some water. Now I'm just sitting here waiting for this stuff to cook. I went and I spent some more time resource gathering, found a little more iron, and it looks like we have ingots. Okay, so they do end up looking like ingots. I have to reach back there and grab all of them. Let's see how many we got. Is it 1 for 1? We got 5. Wait, didn't I put in 6 though? No? Well, I mined some more iron because I went looking for it because I was looking and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't craft any tools at all if I don't have enough iron to make an anvil. So I went and I found some more. I actually went by our water source and started exploring over there, but I'm going to need more torches. It's going to be a while, I think, before we make some tools. So that is an important lesson. 24 iron ingots. We have 5 right now. If there's anything else I can make, though, I'd really like to, because I need some tools. So this is where those primitive tools I was talking about earlier, that's where those come in. Because all of these things, the hoe head, I'm going to need metal for that. I'm going to need metal for all of these things. And that's because I need an anvil. So hopefully very soon, in a very near future update, we get primitive tools. Because I would love to be able to, at least inefficiently, cut down some grass, level some terrain, and things like that. But that is the state Rising World is in right now. Things are looking really good. I will admit, since we're getting to the end of this video here, I'll just say, I've been wanting to come back to this game. But I will admit, I was very worried about its progress. There came a point where so much time had passed without any word, any update, that I thought it was another abandoned project. But it turns out the developers just really are taking their time and putting a lot of love into this game. And I think once it does hit a full release, we're going to see a very impressive survival building sandbox game on our hands. So I encourage you, if you're not going to buy Rising World right now, to at least keep your eye on it, because it has a ton of potential. And just in the little bit of time I've been playing today, I've had a lot of fun relearning some of this stuff and checking out all the new things they finally added. It looks like the sun is threatening to rise here, so I'm going to end it there, and next time I expect we'll have some more iron. Perhaps we'll go exploring in a cave. I don't think I did a whole lot of that last time. And we will start working towards getting more tools and eventually building our beachfront property, which we so rightfully deserve. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. I'm going to be posting more videos here on the channel. If you want to see more of me, though, in other games, perhaps, I've been streaming on twitch.tv/Vortac almost every day, so I encourage you to go check the link below and hit me up on Twitch. And if not, I'll see you back here in Rising World very soon. Thanks again, guys. Catch you later.